What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you that made you think that God was real? And I'm not talking about believing in some kind of universal energy. I'm talking.
Since today is the anniversary of 8 years ago of when I almost passed away, I figured this would be a perfect time to share the story of how I know for a fact, like this was probably confirmation on top of confirmation that I know God was real. So in the end, about the mid of 2015, God had told me to refrain from having sex. I took it upon myself to believe that God meant not with the person that I had last had relations with. So I stopped having relations with that person. Ended up in a relationship and we were doing the do. So in January, beginning of January, on the 22nd, it was a Friday, I'll never forget. I was on the train heading to Queens to meet with a client to work out with them. And I fell asleep, fell asleep hard. And anyone from New York City, we don't fall asleep on the train hard. So when I got off the train, it didn't register anyway. So I got off the train, I'm walking down Jamaica Avenue, and I literally hear God say, get a pregnancy test. Why? Like, I had stopped having sex. I wasn't having sex at the time. I probably didn't have sex for like 3 or 4 weeks. So I was like, why would I get a pregnancy test? And I'm standing on Jamaica Avenue in front of Walgreens having this like internal conversation with God. And because it was pressing so hard, I just said, forget it. Let me go in. And then I was fussing because I was like, you know how much pregnancy tests are, God? Like, I don't have no money. And then I'm making all these excuses and I'm just fussing. But I'm fussing as I'm going into the store. I'm fussing as I'm going to get this test. And literally, they had the box that had 3 and it was on sale. So I feel like God was just trying to tell me, like, see, I'm going to give you multiple and you're going to save money. So I get the test, go to the gym. And of course, I have no patience. I decided to take the test, and I found out I'm pregnant. So this is on a Friday. The following day, the Saturday, we were having a blizzard. So New York City ended up with this crazy blizzard, and I felt fine. And in my mind, all I keep thinking is, just get to Monday, go to my GYN so he can confirm everything for me with a blood test, and we'll just move over. We'll move forward from there. When I woke up on Saturday, I felt fine. I was making me something to eat. And as I'm standing in my kitchen making my food, I hear God say, go now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Go now. So I literally just was like, all right, I try to compromise a little bit. Can I eat this food before I go to the hospital? Because they're going to have me there for a minute. So I eat my food. I pack me a bag. And I tell my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend now, I'm like, we need to go to the hospital right now. He doesn't understand. Of course, I totally get it. He doesn't have that same kind of walking relationship with God. But I was like, trust me, God said I need to go. I'm going to go. So we have to walk to the hospital. Thankfully, the hospital, like when I come out my building, look ahead, I can see the hospital. So it's about 4 or 5 blocks from where I'm at. But the way we have to get there, we have to we gotta go around. Because there's 2 hospitals and I have to get to the hospital that's on the other side of the hospital that I can see from my block. So I said, we gotta walk. The snow has not been removed. I know there's no cabs out. I mean, it was just winter white. So we walk, takes about 15-20 minutes for us because I'm just taking it all in. It's beautiful. The sun is out. The sun was just white. And I'm just like, all right, God, I'm trusting you. Like, you're telling me to go. I know I'm in good hands. Like, me and my baby going to be fine. And I get there. They take me in. I go to the sonogram. And she has me on my back. And she's digging, And she basically was like, oh, I found a problem. When she said that, I was like, okay, maybe I had another miscarriage because I had a miscarriage in 2011. So I was like, all right, maybe I had a miscarriage. So I go back to the room. I'm waiting for the doctor to come in. The doctor was like, okay, so you are having an ectopic pregnancy. And I was like, okay, I knew what that was. And I was like, so what are the options? So she was like, well, we could give you medication that can help you. And then she was like, but we're going to prep you for surgery. And I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? You going to prep me for surgery? You just said something about a pill. So because we had a blizzard, my mom, my sister were not able to get to the hospital in time. I had to literally just trust and believe God. Because my family, we are the type, we're not going into this this operating room until we see one another. We tell each other that we love each other. My mom wants to see me and I want to see her. but I had to like let go, and I just had to trust God. And when I got into the operating room, I thought it was very unique that the surgeon was Jewish, the anesthesiologist was Muslim, and like the other people, I don't know what they were, but those two stood out. And I was like, before y'all put me under, we gotta pray. So they looking at me, and I'm like, I say my prayer in Jesus' name, and I just let it go. And they put me under, and I woke up. I'm in pain. I'm feeling groggy, horrible. And the surgeon came out. Now, again, prior to me going into the OR, I did not see the surgeon. But the surgeon came out to speak to me afterwards. And so he comes and tells me, he's like, look, I'm going to say this to you in the only way that I can possibly say it. He was like, you keep believing in your God, because I don't know what prompted you to come here, because I guess he read the report, and like I was not complaining about any pain. I wasn't bleeding or anything. So he was just like, something told you to come here, because nothing was alarming you. And I'm happy that you did, because you was already bleeding internally. The fetus had already erupted. I lost one of my fallopian tubes, my left one. I didn't lose the ovary, only just the fallopian tube. And he was like, keep believing God. Keep listening. Keep doing whatever you need to do, because that's all I can say is you really should not be here. Your case was bad. As far as like internally, it was bad. And so I have many stories of my walk with God and hearing God and, just having situations. But like I said, because today is the anniversary of that time, I felt this was the perfect time to share my story when I just continue to confirm that God was real. And no one can ever debate me about that at all.